Have you been promoted recently? Or do you want to get promoted? And I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell my students that helps them get promoted in their careers, not from just junior level to mid-level, but from mid-level to senior all the way up to principal and higher. My name's Jason Humphrey. I help bootcamp students get their first high-paying job right out of their cohort. Far too often I hear that people, they want the promotion. They haven't been promoted. They want it, but they don't know what to do, or they're just kind of going along. They're getting their tickets done. They're estimating their stories. They're kind of doing them on time. Things are going relatively well. Relatively well does not get promotions. What gets promotions is going above and beyond and driving value to your manager, to your superior, to your tech lead, to the team. It's not one individual. It's a whole onslaught of everyone around you. I want to show you some other ways today that you can do that. I'm going to assume up to this point you show up to work on time, you interact with your coworkers, help them up. I'm also going to assume you're getting your work relatively done. Whatever they give to you, you get done, you ask your questions, you show up to meetings, things are getting done, you're moving on, and you complete them. Basically, I'm assuming you're hitting the bare minimum. Let's talk about now going from the bare minimum, starting with documentation. In meetings, when people start talking about different rules, styles, and standards, and the team comes to an agreement, are you writing it down? Is someone asking to write it down? And if so, are you the first one to volunteer? Because I think that's one of the really great ways to start showing initiative to go above and beyond is to volunteer and to also then write it and do the best damn job you can do and overemphasize on all the material you can in there. Don't just leave one line saying this is the style we follow because of this. Give examples. Show initiative that goes than just basic documentation. Another example I want to give you is testing. Within testing, I know you probably do the basic 2 to 3 tests per function. You test the min, the max, and that it's in the range. But are you going above and beyond that? Are you testing for the wrong formats? Are you testing for wrong types? Are you testing edge case scenarios? Are you going past what you're asked? This is what I see happen a lot. Is someone will ask you to write a test, or potentially one of my students to write some tests, and they'll give them 2 to 3 ideas, and that's exactly what my student implements. And that is not good enough if you're looking for this promotion. If you're looking to take on more work, if you really want to go above and beyond, you can't just do what they say. You have to take it the step further. Next is pull requests. This is a very typical place where people put out their code, they create a pull request, they set it out there for reviews, and then couple things happen. One, they might not actively promote their PRs and then not get enough comments on it. They submit it in, bad code gets in. So make sure you're actively promoting your pull request is out there to get more comments. But what I see is a lot of people earlier in their careers don't ask for help, don't ask to be scrutinized harder, and then at the same time, they don't go learn for themselves and see how other people are writing code. You got some great feedback here on your PR, great, learn from it. Go write comments on other people's code. Take the time to review everyone's code and learn what everyone's doing. One of the things this will do for you on the team is to help you figure out who's writing the best code, who's not, who you can learn from, who you can give more comments to. It really helps educate you with your opinion. And as a developer, you're going to learn all too well in your career as you advance. Your opinion is what matters. Your opinion that goes in the documentation, the opinion that goes in PRs, your opinion that goes into testing, your opinion that goes into code. Your opinion starts showing up everywhere. Pull requests is one of the best ways to grow your opinion, but you're going to have to write comments on other people's code and review it. You're going to have to advocate for your own code. You're going to have to advocate, get people to look at your code. It is a very time-consuming task, and it's one that I found that people resist the most. So when we talk about going above and beyond, this is it right here. This is a big proponent for you to start going above and beyond, is to take the time it requires to be extremely diligent around PRs. Next is code. Are you helping build a team style and standard? And if not, are you following one? Are you following something like Standard.js or Airbnb or Google's style guide? Are you following one of them? And even then, are you building your own ESLinting rules around this? Now, note, I know I'm talking about the JavaScript realm. It's easiest for me to relate to because that's what I do mainly on a daily basis. But the point still stands to any language, any part of the industry. Are you following a style and standard, and is it high quality? If not, let's add to it. If you have one, great. Can we take it a step further now and maybe make a component library. It's not something people normally go after. Yeah, some people talk about implementing a style and standard, but when we talk about going the extra mile and doing ESLint rules to the T, when we talk about doing UI component libraries, it's not something that is always covered. I find a lot of teams talk about it, but don't do it because of the extra time required outside of their normal job that it takes. So I encourage you to figure out, if you're not in the JavaScript realm, you're not in front-end code, no worries. Figure out what it is in your side of the industry that it's going to take to go above and beyond in your code. Next is meetings. When we're talking about meetings, it's not just, hey, did you show up? This one manifests because a lot of people from associate to senior level don't always take meetings seriously. And if you're watching this going, I show up, I'm attentive, great. Bare minimum. What are you doing extra? Are you taking notes? Are you asking engaging questions? Are you pushing the envelope and pushing back an idea and giving your own opinion? Not to fight just to fight, but do you have something to truly add? And are you speaking up? Are you doing what it takes in a meeting to show your involvement, to show you're engaged, to show you are pushing the envelope forward? And the last here that I want to talk about is with your manager. Are you asking for more work? Are you getting more things done? Now, I hear this all the time. Well, Jason, I have 20 story points of work and that covers my entire week and I'm busy and that's it. I get my work done and they're very happy with me. Nothing ever happened to those who just hit the bar. Like, great, you hit the bare level minimum, you hit the bar, getting the job done, but you want to get to senior, right? You want to get to that promotion, right? You want to go above and beyond, right? If you want to get to the next level faster, you have to put in time outside the 40 hours. Or you have to be fully optimized in the 40 hours you have to absolutely kick ass and do 10x more than anyone else. But to be honest, the easiest way for most people right now, because optimizing can be hard for a lot of people, the easiest way is to put in that extra time and to do these things that we're talking about. It's to take time in documentation and put more effort into it and take lead on things like that. It's to do bigger and better tests and don't just do the bare minimum. It comes into coding. It comes into styles and standards. It comes into how you handle your meetings. All of that takes time and it takes away from your main job. Your main job isn't going to change here. If that takes you 30 hours a week right now, that's still what it is. You're still going to spend this extra time, which might get past 40, which might get past 45 hours to do this. Early in your career, it's a hell of a lot easier because that's when you have the most capabilities to grow. If you're earlier, take the time to do this or take time to reach out and ask some maybe targeted questions of us here to help you out in your situation because this is when you can have the most impact. If you go above and beyond now, I promise you, it will have huge returns for you a couple years down the road because in that first 5 to 10 years of your career, that's when you get the most chance of growth and expansion. And if you take the bull by the horns, you have an amazing opportunity at your hands, especially in this industry right now. I've watched many students go from $50,000 to $100,000 income within a couple of years. But they didn't do it by sitting there doing the bare minimum. They did it by going above and beyond.